Bonjour mes amis, hi guys. Viewer Dennis asked me a good question. If I was to start over with 15,000 US, which three watches would I buy? At first I thought I would answer it easily. He asked me that question a month ago, I think, and I've tried. I don't know, I think I've made 5 videos already and I scrubbed them all because I was not answering the question. At first, I was just looking at my collection and I just picked whatever I think would make a good collection for 15K. So I would take the Explorer, the Moonwatch, and the Tudor Black Bay 58. Then I realized there were some problems there. First, no date, then very little color, then the availability was very bad for those. Even the Moonwatch now is discontinued in this Hesalite 1861 caliber format. And then I realized that I bought these watches because the opportunity was there. The Explorer was in the window, and it's the last time I ever saw one in the window. It was 2 years ago, so I had to get it. I hadn't planned to get it, and I was hesitating even. But now I'm very happy that I bought it. Same for the Black Bay 58. I had lost interest in it, and then it was available. I wasn't sure, and then I bought it, and now it's one of the watches I wear the most. And then the Moonwatch, I got it because, well, I wanted the Moonwatch, and Archie Luxury was talking about it a lot, and he mentioned that it was so low on the gray market, and I kind of hit the lowest price on the gray market, under 3,500 US. So it was just a chance to get those. Now, if I had to restart, would I go there? I kind of like to have a date. I also like to have Rolex in my collection. My first Rolex was the 16570, the Polar Dial Explorer 2. But when I got it, it was under 5,000 US. Now it's almost doubled in price since I got it. I think it's still good value compared to the GMTs, given that it has the same movement. It wears great, but I kind of would like to have a Rolex from the modern era. If I only had three watches, of course, my favorite pick would be the GMT Master 2, the Pepsi, if not the Batgirl or Batman. But that would first they're impossible to get, and but if I could get that, of course, I would get that. Hell, if I could get a Daytona at retail for 15K, I would still get that. If I had to get one watch, you could get a Sidolor 4000 for under 15K. Great, perfect one watch. And you have a bit of change for something else. So you can even get a Calatrava without box and paper, probably, like my 5296. But let's stay on track here with a three-piece collection. I think you still want to have something that's going to keep good value, keep being interesting, because in that price range you have all the Breitling Navitimers, the IWC Pilots, but those are watches you can kind of buy at any time. They're always there, and there's such a big back catalog of them that you can always find something around the 3,000 US that's gonna fit the bill. I wouldn't rush to get that when I start a collection with three pieces. But great watches, of course. And then you have GLC with the Master Control line. I would try to get one of the sector dials that were only produced for 1 year because, again, collectors are hoarding on those, keeping them. I would even get the chronograph. It will eat up a lot of the budget, but it's so beautiful. It's really well made, and it's going to remain special. Problem with GLC is that they're always, you think they're over with it, and then 2 years later they come back with another sector dial with the new movement. I prefer to bet on Rolex for the main pièce de résistance in my collection. Where I am now in my headspace, and I'm sure your headspace is different, but I would go for the Wimbledon dial Datejust, if possible, with the Jubilee bracelet and the fluted bezel. But that's going to be eating most of the budget. But I think it's special, and I like it. That's where I am now. But that's why it's difficult to give an advice to Dennis or anyone, because it's a very personal journey. I've experienced the Explorer, I've experienced the Explorer 2. I have a Milgauss, which also I got because it was there in the window and got caught me by surprise, and I took it, and I love it. If you find a Milgauss, by no means go get it. But even on the second-hand market, the black dial and white dials are not that expensive. So sure, great watches if that's where you're at, go for it. For me, I would prefer to get the Datejust. If I want to have a more balanced price between the watches in my collection, I would go then for the Oyster with the smooth bezel, which is not white gold, and that's going to be around 8,000 US. Then what I would add to that, I'm thinking if not the Moonwatch, the other Speedmaster that I love right now is the green bezel Sedna Gold Tokyo 2020 Olympics edition that came out 2 years ago. And of course, the Olympics, they might happen, they might not happen, but they certainly won't happen in 2020. So it would be kind of a memento of this crazy year, and it's something kind of very special. And it's a beautiful watch in and of its own. Quite expensive, around 7,000 US right now if you're lucky. So it eats up a lot of the budget, but that's another special thing that I would get right now if I don't get the regular Hesalite version of the Moonwatch. The other chronograph that I would really love to experience, I have the Zenith Chronomaster with the full calendar. That is very special, very cool watch. The one that you can even get around that budget of 3,000 to 4,000 US. You can even get a gold version of the Chronomaster. But the one that I have not experienced yet is the Rainbow with the flyback, one that was made for the French pilots, I believe. It's a bit hard to find in good condition. They tend to lose the pearl at the 12 o'clock. So you might have to go beyond the 4,000, maybe 5,000 US to find one in good condition. But that's one that I would be interested in getting. And you get some serious movement there, high beat, the original automatic chronograph from Zenith. It's a historically important movement, and that version is really cool. Then it depends what you have left. If you only have $1,000 left, hell, just get a Seiko. I love them. Get the Willard because it has the Apocalypse Now movie association, or the new SPB 185 that I have just reviewed that I bought myself. Is the smaller version of the Marine Master. I think it's just beautiful and it's so Seiko, it's so original. Hell, just enjoy it. If you have a bit more of a budget left, then yeah, Tudor Black Bay 58. I think it's such a winner. It's such a good watch. I absolutely love it. I prefer the black version actually than the blue, but whichever you can find. There's a small premium to get the blue, at least here in Hong Kong. I have to say that I'm very spoiled in Hong Kong. It's so easy to find anything you want. And because there's so much of everything, the prices are okay compared to the rest of the world. If you only have one specialized second-hand dealer in your neck of the woods, I'm from Belgium, like in Belgium, you're going to pay through the roof for anything special, like even a Chronomaster. They're going to think it's going to be something special. So again, difficult to give a good advice, but I hope I gave you some clues, Dennis, and anyone else who's starting over or wants some ideas. A question that was much more difficult to answer than I would have imagined at first. And leave me in the comments your ideas for a three-piece collection for 15,000 US, and we can revisit the subject in a further video. Bye bye, guys.